me trying to sort my hair out before I come on the live, but it's just fucked anyway. Don't know. It has a mind of its own, it kind of just does what it wants. What we saying, people? I just thought I'd come on here a quick time. I was just gonna record a little reel, or just a little video quickly, just taking a note, just a note to myself, just saying that, hello Owen, I feel I'm directly aware that like the fact that basically that you are awake at all, I feel that like consciousness and life is like, well, the miracle where like, I don't know, it's just something that I seem to be like directly aware of, where like you know, think about all the good times that you've had. You know, what happened once can happen again, in terms of like, you know, you'll probably end up reincarnating, and you'll probably have loads of good times in the future, but just like basically like, yeah, like the fact that anything is awake at all, it's just like a miracle, and it's like the miracle of infinite exploration. It depends if you are conscious of infinity and things of that nature. Someone's messaging me, I might disappear. I know I've only just got here, but that's why I'm getting distracted. But yeah, no, it's just basically like, I don't know, yeah, just life, like the fact that you can breathe, and like, you know, I call it like, because I used to be super asleep for most of my life, and then you can just wake up in terms of what I would call like acute awareness, or being fine-tuned to the details of awareness of like how much of a miracle it is that you are even in a body, you know, and all the nuance and all of the duality and different facets and multi-dimensions of nature, of animals and people and family and societies, and the different like kind of patterns that are on, that repeat across scale. Like the whole thing is just like so profound, and it's up to you. Like, you are creating your life. You create it with your thoughts and with your mind, either unconsciously or consciously, and it's up to you what you believe. You can believe that in materialism, you can believe in Christianity, whatever, and but like, it's really like, but it stems from an intuition of also like obviously doing a lot of psychedelics and deep philosophical investigation, being interested in this stuff for as long as I could remember. It's just like, you're an infinite being. You are consciousness itself. It is up to you. And I feel better when I stop doubting my insights and my spirituality. Like, that's why like I kind of just had like a dark phase in my life recently, and it was just full of like, I was on the fence of materialism versus spirituality. Like, I don't know what to believe. Well, it's up to me. I get to make up my own mind with my own thoughts. Everything is fundamentally empty in the present moment, and you get to imagine the story, kind of, to an extent. But yeah, that's it. Like, the main point of this video, I was just thinking like a random note to self, is just simply the fact that like anything can exist and has existed is just like, it's such a miracle. Like, not that there isn't bad, like there's a lot of shadow work and dark stuff to deal with and things. Hi Michael. I'm just saying how consciousness is just such a miracle. Like, when you wake up to how, like, you know, because it's like, it feels like the greatest gift that you could ever be given, in terms of like, I'm alive now, I'm awake now, therefore I can continue to be awake in the future. Like, I will continue to incarnate, and it's like everything I've ever experienced. Here's a thought experiment. Do this, especially if I smoked a bit of weed and I was laying down in bed listening to some frequencies, and the thought experiment is, just remember everything you can that you've ever experienced. Think about all of the fate, like you have to smoke a zoot or something and just lay down in the dark and just try and get into it, and just think all of the faces, all of the houses you've ever lived in, every school you've went to, every job you've ever had, every song or music artist you've ever listened to, and how that makes you feel, and all of the trials and tribulations, it's like, it's literally infinity. Like, there's just like, how, like, it's, you can't even recall all of it. Every dog you've ever owned or had in your, you know, your family, how far the branches go out. It's like, and then reality continues to be a novelty engine, say like the conscious rapper community. I was actually thinking this morning, it's like something that just kind of appears out of nowhere, like, you know, it like, it's like the internet, you know, like the internet now is like alien to those who, you know, just because we're used to it, but like this like phone, what we take for granted was perceived as like impossible, like before it was made evident back in the day, you know. So it's like pure novelty, and reality is a novelty engine, so it's like literally infinity. And I don't care what anyone says, like, it is infinity. And I actually agree with you, Michael, when you said that it's constant ascension. I think overall it actually is. I think everything is constantly making consciousness kind of stronger, so to speak, where like all of the experiences you go through are adding up in some sense. Not that it all isn't already there in the Godhead pinnacle, but I just mean like, there's this thing that I've become aware of, the fact that like I'm willing to go through everything. I don't particularly want to, but I know it will make me stronger in the bigger picture, and that is what you as consciousness are going to do. You will explore infinity forever, because there's nothing else to do, and you best learn to love all of it, because it is all you, because you are infinity and you are exploring yourself. So it'd be insanity to resist any part of infinity in a way. But regardless of pummeling you with metaphysical insights, yeah, I'm just saying, it's a miracle. Just feel the miracle of being. That's it, man. Like, often, like, if I ever get down or depressed or something, like, a thought experiment that kind of opens me up energetically is like, think about when you was like children, you know, like I remember being on the trampoline with all my younger like friends and that back in the day, living with my auntie when I'm a kid, fucking I'm into Nerf guns and shit like that. It's like, this life is a lot deeper than your personal mature problems as an adult. Like, you literally just incarnated on a whim, or so it seems, as a fucking child, and just like, you know, what did you do? How was your childhood? Maybe your childhood was shit, but like, my childhood was like, I don't know, I had fun. I thought it was alright. So I fell in love with loads of video games, and like, and it's just amazing to me. Like, I was looking at this Minecraft like nostalgic video the other day. Again, conscious of that as myself. I am Minecraft. I am every game. I am, because there's no boundary between self and other, because you grow out of the world. Everything is like interdependent. Duality like relies on each other, because everything needs contrast. So like, but yeah, with the fucking, yeah, the Minecraft game, like, how isn't it profound that you can just get born as a child and just fall in love with a video game, and just play that for like 2 years every day after school. I can't wait to get home and play my game. And then you get older and like, you know, the name of the game changes a bit, but like, just that alone, like, do you not see how that is heaven? Like, playing the video games in a way. But then again, if there was never intervals of negative and positive, you couldn't ever have the appetite to play the game and then experience the relief of the appetite of playing the game, where like, you know, if you have loads of weed forever and ever, often you basically you tend to take for granted what you always have. So what reality will do is it will take things away from you that you were taking for granted, until you learn that you should have been grateful for it. Like, people can be arrogant and depressed and things until their survival situation gets very tight, and they realise that they should have been grateful the whole time, because as soon as you run out of food, warmth, and weed and things, like, what you took for granted, that's kind of how gratitude works. It's like you only know what you had once it's gone. So when it's gone, you can kind of reevaluate your attachments and your gratitude, and then when it comes back, you can actually appreciate it properly. So I'm just saying, that's kind of like the yin and yang of the interval thing, where like, you know, it's kind of like, you couldn't, you know, imagine if you was like starving, like really hungry. You can recall a memory, right, where imagine, like, you know, there's obviously some point in your existence in the past where you've had a big meal in front of you and you're very ready to eat it. You're like, fuck yeah, or a zoot, like a joint, right? I'm just talking about desire now. It's like, do you see how you need the kind of the contrast of you need to be hungry, which is kind of negative, in order to relieve the appetite. So it's like, potentially this is the name of the game of reality, where reality, basically, like, you could be put in a poverty situation, right? Like a lot of you likely are. And then reality will show you your dreams through a bit of glass. So your cell phone shows you, oh, I wish I could afford that house. I wish I could be out in nature. Oh, my situation is so shit in reality, but my mate through this bit of glass has got everything I've ever wanted. So reality is like tricking itself, and it builds an appetite by depriving itself of infinity, kind of, where like reality imposes limits to build an appetite for the limitless. And that's what awakening kind of is like, we start off as a limited ego in separation and duality, and then psychedelics can get you a glimpse of infinity, and then a lot of us in the conscious community, we've built an appetite for infinity, but we could have only have built the appetite of infinity having been finite. And then when death or a psychedelic peak comes, and we merge with infinity once again, that is, you feel the acceleration. Andrew Tate says, when you're in a car, you don't feel how fast you're going. If you're going 200 miles an hour, you know, you're kind of just going at like a constant, right? You feel the acceleration though, don't you? If you go from 0 to 100, you will feel it, and it will make your fucking body and your tummy go strange, right? In a way. That's what life... Oh, what the fuck? That's kind of what life is doing, where you go from finite to infinity, and that's what... So the starseed starts birth deep in the dirt, or the starseed's birth starts deep in the dirt even. So as God, as infinity, you put yourself in a very shit situation for a very, very long time, potentially, so that you can build an appetite. Oh, I wish I wasn't in this shit situation. And the longer you stay in this shit situation, like, the bigger the appetite kind of gets in a way, or the desire. And then, because there isn't any limit, and you are creating all of this with a dream in the mind of God, you can go into infinity, like, and that is the plan. And the absolute is absolute, like, I don't have any questions about it. Infinity is love, is God, is consciousness, is the self, and it's a game, it's a play of duality, divided infinity. So God became man so that man could become God. So yeah, I think you understand that, kind of. It's a bit of a rant, but you just, you know, if reality can make itself very hungry and deprived of nutrients, then reality can experience the love of getting the nutrients, because it was deprived, in a way. So it's like everything needs contrast, and this creates love. I think the yin and yang symbol is actually love. You know, when people make love, right? Male and female have sex, they call it making love, right? That is the yin and yang. So the actual symbol, yin and yang, good and bad, itself is actually love in the bigger picture. So good and bad work together to ultimately be love. God became man so that man could become God. That's it, bro. That's what it is. And then, so you trick yourself into believing that you're finite, and then through psychedelic experiences you get glimpses, and slowly you piece it together, and you're like on this detective mode as an ego from your separateness, and you slowly start to grasp and find artists and breadcrumb. You follow the breadcrumb trail you left for yourself as God, because the engine of reality is division and reunification. So the Godhead separated itself so that it could love remembering itself, because the truth is the ultimate highest love. It is, reality is infinite love. I know there's a lot of darkness and there's a lot of shadow work, and the shadow work really is not fucking worth it in a way, because it's fucking horrible. In the moment, how could this possibly be worth it? This is so shit. Exactly. So when you're suffering or in pain, the only thing that could make up for this is if God really did make up for this. It's up to you to make up for it. You are God. So no matter how bad it gets, it can just strengthen your faith. Oh, like, because you're still, like, what was that quote? Everything will be okay in the end, and if it's not, then it's not the end. So, maybe the highest love is actually fooling yourself. Oh, I'm gonna lose. You actually believe that you can lose, but you can't lose because you're infinite consciousness. That you've tricked yourself because you've made yourself identify with this thing, and then you've thrown yourself into a vast matrix of exploding energy, and you're identified with this, so you actually think that there's something at stake, but there's no separation. You can experience the world like there's no me here right now. Like, for example, like, let's look at this ugly fence, right? That's all there. I'm not there. I'm not looking at the fence. There's no distance. The fence is just there. The phone that you're watching this video on right now, you are not looking at the phone from your eyes. The phone is the phone, and you are the phone. Everything is the same body. There's no separation. And when you grasp that deep enough, that's when you can experience deep synchronicity, because everything is being dreamt by the same mind, just like when you go to sleep at night. It's happening within the same brain, supposedly. The whole world is your body. There's no separation. It's just such an elaborate illusion. All is mind. Exactly. And when you see it, it's yeah. But that's it. What I was saying originally, yeah, it's just a miracle. Like, the fact that anything is awake ever is the miracle. It's the fact that anything can be conscious of itself ever is like the end game, so to speak, where like you're fucked, because it's either nothing or everything, and it's not nothing, so it's everything, but everything is nothing, because if consciousness was anything, it wouldn't be able to hold everything. It's like a blank canvas, and that is your true identity. You are the spaciousness that holds everything. And I know it might just sound like intellectual philosophy kind of at the minute, but you can actually like metaphysically break through to the point where you can actually feel the entire world moving, like your mind moving everything kind of. But I mean, that's kind of irrelevant. I didn't want to go on like a fucking super tangent about metaphysics and things. But yeah, I was just saying from the get-go that it's a miracle, the fact that anything exists, and that's facts. I feel it in me, like it's a deep intuition, it's a deep knowing that it's easier to find in stillness in a way when I stop speaking about it, because those who know don't speak, and those who speak don't know. Not inherently, like you can think in a no-mind way, where you just, yeah, like you can still think, but you have to take the no-mind paradigm into account. And that's what people call like tripping over the non-duality wires. Like, if you see my talks where I'm talking to Mr. Nature, he's like, I don't know. It's all in the mind, man. It's an elaborate illusion. And often it's the pain and the suffering that actually sells the illusion. Because it's like, who's got time for existentialism when you're skint and you're hurting, kind of like. Pain is like a resource that constructs everything, like everything constructs everything else. I don't know, I'm just chatting some schizophrenic stuff right now, but I made my main point. I'm probably going to go now. But yeah, consciousness is a miracle. You will play in infinity forever. And it is literally heaven. But heaven entails the good and the bad in a way. Because even though you, for example, take depression into account, I do not enjoy my past. I have experienced deep depression and like suffering and things, right? Think about you yourself. I'm sure you've gone through suffering, pain, potentially. Notice how, bring to mind all of the music that you love, your favorite music artist. Notice how you could only resonate deeply with your favorite music artist having been through everything that you've been through. So, for example, I loved listening to some sad music artist called XXXTentacion, right? So it's like my sadness, pain and suffering actually enabled me to enjoy music that I resonated with on that. So I could only love and resonate with the artist talking about depression, having been depressed. And you enjoy it. You can, so, you know what I mean? Like, even the conscious rapper community, a lot of us aren't as conscious as we think in terms of like yin and yang, where like conspiracy theorists, for example, conspiracy theorists can be so righteous, pointing at the government, the evils of the government, the evils of conspiracies and things, but like you wouldn't be able to be so righteous if there wasn't a conspiracy to be like righteous about, where like, for example, there's loads of rap artists in the conscious rapper community that speak out against the corruption, and they build an entire career speaking against what they hate. Fuck the government. And they make music saying fuck the government, right? And then they make loads of money and say Mr. Traumatic and all them, man. Like, you wouldn't, without opposition, there can't be an overcoming of the opposition for success. You know? You can't... Yeah, I don't know. Trying to win is the reason you lost. So, what you'll realise is that, like, you've just been fooling yourself the whole time. Kind of. Where, like... And but it's just such an elaborate illusion anyway, but... Yeah. I think, there's your rant anyway. I hope I made sense. Thanks for sticking with me, Michael. And, I think someone else was here, but Tommy and legendary peoples. I gotta get to work on this conscious rapper cipher music video. I'm trying to do have a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna leave now. Basically, I'm making a music video. I'm trying to for the conscious rapper community. We've got a cipher coming out. I just got to stop standing around on my phone like a dickhead and get to it. I've made a bit of it, but there's a lot of like my life has shifted recently in the past few days. Like a lot of new stuff. Like I might be moving house. A lot. I won't get into the details, but I'm fucking busy and a lot of demand. Everything all of a sudden is just like picked up pace. Where like fucking Mr. Nature's said I can move to Spain with him and leave Babylon. He sent me videos of him driving around in the mountains and shit. And he's like, just come here, man, like, because he saw that I was kind of down bad. Yes, I'd never take tonight. Yeah, I'll get on it, man. Yeah, I'll see, I'll hit you up. Wagwan Bespoke, I'm gonna go now, I think, basically. We need more of these type of lives. You speak a lot of good stuff, bro. Thank you, my G. Yeah, we spoke before quite a bit, I remember. I appreciate it, man. All of you, man, like, you don't understand how, like, if there wasn't a bit of an audience, like, that means the world to me, man. Like, if I ever get one follow from a page that cares about spirituality or psychedelics or anything, it fills me with, like, is so much, like, that's like the fuel of, like, even though I'm not particularly proud of a lot of what I've done or said in a way, but like, that's like, just, the community side of it is so meaningful to me. And when I see people, like, psychedelic people drop me a follow and things, it just makes me feel super epic. But yeah, potentially I could be moving to Spain with Mr. Nature and Miss Sunshine. Bruv, you're making a difference in people's lives. It doesn't matter if it's 10 or 100. Yeah, I don't actually want it to be 100 just yet, in a way, or like what I've actually done on purpose. I've said this from the get-go. I've always said that my content will evolve in the future, and that's because I just don't feel like particularly ready in a way. I'm still evolving a lot, but basically, I don't want to have a major breakthrough into publicity on the internet just yet, because my content isn't ready. I'm not ready. I haven't been ready. I'm getting ready. I am ready as timeless consciousness, but also on the relative plane, not so much. So I don't want to get discovered right now inherently, because it's not a good time for me to get discovered. And that's why the tarot card reading said, now's not my time in the limelight. Maybe. Oh yeah. I am going, yeah, okay, I got to message somebody. Anyway, all aligned, yeah, just literally trust the universe. And if you have strong enough faith, you can be anywhere. And that is what saved me recently. I'm telling you, Mr. Nature sent me this picture, and it burned into my mind, where I have faith because of all of my psychedelic experiences, all of my awakenings, everything I've ever experienced, everything I've ever seen, everyone I've ever met, all the places I've been, the whole story of everything in my life. So I have faith because I know that consciousness is profound, and that God is out there, and I am God in a way. So I have faith, and if you have strong enough faith, it doesn't matter where you are, what situation you're in, you know that everything's on the way. And I swear, just grasping that, like, just saved me. I feel so positive recently. For the past, like, 2-3 days, I've been in the kingdom of heaven. But yeah, I'm gonna go now anyway. That's enough talk. I feel like I am being a bit of a longer guy than I was at the beginning of making this lecture. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys super much, and yeah, Michael, I fucking promise I'll get the video done. I could, talk is cheap, so know that don't mean fuck all. But it means a lot to me, and I really want to do it. So wait, everyone, keep your eyes peeled for the music video on the Conscious Rapper community. That will be made by man, hopefully, featuring quite a few conscious rappers that I won't disclose exactly right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I love you all. My phone is about to die, and yeah, I am not who I'm meant to be. Super loads. I'm still evolving, so I hope and have faith that I will bring forth value and content and music, and I will link and share you to a super interconnected hub of awakening information, and that is a lot of what I am. It's not just about me, it's not just my videos. My page, my social media is a fucking multi-dimensional breadcrumb trail to awakening. I post a lot of music, it's not about me. I'm pointing to this information that saved my life. So go scroll through my fucking Facebook and my threads and click on the links, and go on my fucking YouTube. I've got loads of playlists on YouTube that say just interesting videos. So if you ever don't know what to watch on YouTube or some shit, on my YouTube channel I've got loads of playlists of loads of interesting content I've found over the years. And that's a lot of what my job is, it's not just what I'm producing, but I'm pointing to a lot of stuff that saved my life. And I feel like you could all do with doing that more, because we're creating the new earth, and the plot is, to an extent, eco-village is on the way. Again, everything needs contrast, so you spawn in Babylon, and so you spawn, you as God dream yourself as an ego in a shit environment, and then you awaken in the shit environment and realize this environment is fucking shit, this could be loads sicker. So then you build an appetite for a much sicker environment, and then you actualize, you get to actualize in that environment with like-minded people, and that is love. And that's why reality is infinite love. Even though there is bad and good, the yin and yang, you couldn't overcome Babylon if you weren't put in Babylon to begin with. You understand that? So us having faith that we can overcome Babylon, build an eco-village, grow our own food, it's a cycle of problem and solution. Reality is bugging itself because there's nowhere to go. God is just entertaining itself because you are eternally awake as the conscious bubble of infinity. The bubble of no boundaries. You are a geometric point with no dimensions, and that is infinity also. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Spiritual warfare is a fun game. Exactly. But it hurts, and it's real, so it's not, it is serious, but it's also, yeah, it's the most full movie ever. When you're playing Super Mario, right, if you was identified with Super Mario, you would also suffer to an extent, so you're identified with this ego, but this is a video game. You're behind the scenes holding the controller. But you can't see how this is all happening on a screen. You think that this is the deepest level, but there's another level behind it. That's who you really are. But you're identified with Super Mario, and that's why you're suffering. So you've incarnate. You can, as God, you can incarnate into any movie you want to forever, and play any role you want. The reality is acting. God is acting as a human. God is acting as a fridge. God is acting as a jar of pasta and a microwave, because that is the truth. Do you understand that? Because it's an infinite imagination, so it can take any form. So it is literally, God is pretending that it isn't. And that's what all of the materialist culture is doing, is you, as God, decided to incarnate as an ego and send yourself into a education system, and it's all planned behind the scenes. The world is a stage, exactly. It was all planned in the green room. It was all agreed before it. So you agreed that to put authority into the teacher in an education system, you put authority into the teacher and the YouTube videos you were watching, and that authority in the videos you were watching allowed you to get programmed with any paradigm, like a materialist paradigm. So you can watch a YouTube video, a scientific fun fact YouTube video when you're a kid. You put authority in the YouTube video presenter because he seems mature. You get programmed with materialism, so you now are believing in materialism, and then you can awaken that you actually just made all that up as God. And then you can feel the acceleration from materialism into spirituality and the contrast. And that is the game of yin and yang. And that is infinite love. And you are perfect as timeless awareness. But also, you're here to be and do things. And you will need discipline. And you are also just a human on the relative plane. So all of this is all good. But if I'm talking to you like I am now, and if I fucking... Because I can talk on YouTube for so long, but I need to go. My phone's running out of charge. But as a survival human, I might be a dickhead in some ways. Where, like, I can talk about all this stuff, right? But, like, you know, do I struggle with bad habits? Or, like, you know, am I paying the rent? Am I being a cunt to my peers? Do I have flaws? Things like that. Anyway, I gotta go. I love you.